Shantanu, look at these numbers, surpassing $11 billion. You've got growth. A lot of people at one point were worried that you could stay above 20%. You far exceeded that. Which are the big drivers to make it so that you have 24% year-over-year annual growth?
Well, Jim, I think most companies would be thrilled to have one growth initiative that's actually paying off, and we have three, whether it's unleashing creativity, whether it's accelerating document productivity, or whether it's powering digital businesses. As you know, content is fueling the digital economy with the core of what's happening across all digital, and it's really great to be able to post the kind of numbers that we did.
When you first started talking to me, we talked about how everyone has a story to tell. How far along are we now that people are discovering that they do have a story to tell and they can use you to tell it?
Well, digital media ARR grew 539 million in terms of the net new ARR, Jim, and that's a record. This is years into the transition from the desktop to the cloud. And Max was the most successful Max ever. And it's because everyone has a story to tell, whether you're a K through 12 student, whether you're the largest enterprise in the world. New media types are emerging, new devices are emerging, systems are emerging. And so I think we're just enabling anybody to take the creative ideas that they have inside and express it across any medium.
At the same time, I am astonished that a business like the Document Cloud is still growing like a weed. Deutsche Bank, Saudi Aramco came to you for help with paper to digital?
Well, everybody is trying to figure out how they can move to a paperless society, how they can expedite automating inefficient paper-based processes. There are trillions of PDFs that are being created every year, Jim. There are billions of people who are viewing PDFs. And the way we have extended the format, the way we've innovated across the desktop and mobile, the way we're making all of this available as embedded services in the API economy so that people can embed PDF within their business processes, that's fueling the growth. I think to your point, Q4 Document Cloud grew 31% for the year. We just continue to see acceleration in that business. And we just continue to think that we've just started with respect to how PDF can help with moving inefficient processes to be automated and digital.
Most companies, they want to go giant enterprise. Some want to do small, medium-sized business. I am impressed, once again, you use a term that I'm going to incorporate, STEAM, not STEM, and you have ambassadors at a young age who, even in the time we've been talking, are now ruling the world. Talk to me about STEAM.
Well, I think the world without arts, Jim, would be a very boring place. And if you're talking about people who are changing the world through corporate social initiatives, everybody really has to make sure that when they're trying through social media to get a following, to be able to tell their story, to be connect emotionally with their customers, that's the kind of next generation creatives that we are attracting to the Adobe Creative Cloud platform. And it doesn't matter whether that platform is mobile applications, whether that platform is YouTube, whether that platform is a social media platform, whether it's Instagram. We just want people to be able to use Adobe products across every one of those different media types. With new emerging things that are appearing, whether it's augmented reality or virtual reality, in which you can actually enter their environment, we're at the forefront of that technology as well. So we're not going to rest until every single individual has access to Adobe technology. We are going to say that approximately 23 million people now have access to Adobe Spark, which is a very, very simple and easy and intuitive way for people to be able to express themselves.
You have also become the gold standard on e-commerce. Some brilliant acquisitions. I love to go to the, I always get Marketo. You give them your name, they correctly follow up. But give us a gauge, because you're real time. How is holiday season going? There's 6 fewer days.
Well, what was really interesting last week, Jim, was that whether you were watching CNBC in the morning, whether you were listening to the radio, whether you were reading the news, it was so gratifying to see the Adobe holiday reports, the digital index reports that are powered by what we are seeing in terms of the trillions of transactions that are happening across Adobe Analytics, Adobe Commerce Cloud, Magento, and Marketo. And I think what stood out for me was that every day virtually has been a record in terms of digital spend. People are not just accessing websites now on mobile, they're actually transacting on mobile devices. There's billions of dollars being spent every day. We think that the entire shopping season is going to be over 140 billion. So it's nice to be at the center of not just content, but also data and providing insights to our customers so they can engage digitally with consumers.
Are you able to, how much are you able to keep track of some of the great Chinese companies? And given the trade war, is it a problem?
Well, for the most part, we are a global company. We do have our products available in China as well, Jim, whether it's a multinational US company that wants to have a consumer presence in China. So the trade wars, we're all for making sure that economic boundaries don't exist and that people can conduct trade fairly. But we have so much opportunity. We are not overly concerned with what's happening in China and the trade war specifically right now.
All right, I want to give you a chance because every time you come on, you've got something new and different, exciting. Fresco.
Well, I've always said, Jim, that I think it's crazy that in this day and age, people think that drawing with a mouse makes intuitive sense. And so Fresco is one of these new applications, just like what we did for imaging with Photoshop, where we made Photoshop accessible in the digital era for billions of people and democratized imaging. We think the same thing should happen for artwork and illustration. And so when you look at Fresco and you look at the attention to detail that our incredible engineers have done, whether it's with oil paints or watercolors, Fresco is just a new breed of application that's appropriate for a tablet device. It takes into account what you can do with stylus. And it's, again, our way of just making sure that we can leverage the incredible work that companies like NVIDIA and others are doing with respect to hardware improvements, what's going to happen with 4G, so that 5G, so that this can all become accessible. And how do we think about that with Adobe Sensei, which is our magic, and make it accessible to a new generation of creatives?
Well, I want to congratulate you. I know there were people who mistakenly, and I would say stupidly, but I'm a gentleman, felt that you were going to go to 19 or 18%. I knew you were going to go the other way because you have such fabulous products and great leadership. Shantanu Narayan, thank you so much. Shantanu, I've got to tell you, this was a huge quarter for you, and I hope everybody realizes that it's just getting faster and accelerating, not slowing. Thank you so much for coming on Mad Money.
Always a pleasure, Jim. Thanks for having me.
Don't miss a second of Mad Money. Follow @Jim Cramer on Twitter. Have a question? Tweet Cramer. #MadTweets. Send Jim an email to madmoney@cnbc.com or give us a call at 1-800-743-CNBC. Miss something? Head to madmoney.cnbc.com.